There's a nice smiley face, Bridget. Hello, everybody. How are we all tonight? I hope you've all been playing bridge this week and having a great time doing it. So, it was a mystery doodle, Chris. Who have we got? Hello, Linda, Rosa, Patricia, Chris, of course, Jeanette, hello, and Trisha. How are you all tonight? So I think this is the regulars, so I won't go too much on about being new here, but I will just remind you quickly that if you run into technical difficulties, there's a couple of things you can do. You can give it a few moments to just iron itself out. If that doesn't work, I would refresh your browser tab. Following that, if that doesn't work, you can exit out of your browser tab, go back to the original invitation and reopen the link. That pretty much solves most things. If it doesn't, you can use the little support widget by clicking on the Learn Bridge Online logo in the top right-hand corner. That will come through to me in the background. And just a reminder, if you do have technical difficulties and want to ask somebody about it, do use that Learn Bridge Online logo and come through to me rather than using the chat window. Hello, Verona. Welcome. So we will start the recording, but thank you again for joining us on the live stream. It's been lovely having you all join us and ask your questions, and your participation is what makes Learn Bridge Online such a wonderful place to learn bridge. So let us get started. Start the recording, which always takes a little moment to tick over. And then we can invite Bridget up. Sure, we've got something exciting planned tonight. All right. We're recording. Welcome everybody. To those of you joining us on the live stream, it's great to see you again. For those of you watching the replay, welcome along. I'm sure you will get a lot out of this lesson. Feel free to join us on the live streams. It's always great being able to ask your questions at the time. Otherwise, you can always find the replays in LearnBridge Online and your classroom page. Don't forget, you can ask questions by leaving them on the classroom page for Bridget, and she will try to answer them in the following week. So speaking of Bridget, let us invite her up, give her a very warm welcome. I can see Sleepy Shauna's joined us. Hello, Sleepy Shauna. Welcome, Bridget.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to have a look at negative doubles today. Last week we were looking at some of those other doubles. This week it's negative doubles. I thought let's just really dig deep into them and try and bring up all the questions and as many answers as we can to make people as clear as possible as we can about negative doubles.
Fabulous. I've never really learned about them, so I'm excited.
Okay, cool. Good. Okay. Well, fire away with all your questions, everybody. They're really useful. So I'm going to shrink me down and we're going to go straight to it.
I will leave you to it. See you at the end.
See you very shortly. Okay, let's bring up the slide. The negative double here. This is just kind of, I popped this in because it's a negative space, a little bit esoteric again, but I quite like that cute little picture of the man on the horse. Okay, who knows what they are? Just to get a bit of a vibe from everybody about what is a negative double and do people use them? Anyone regularly use negative doubles? Oh, Shauna does. Cool. Rosa, great. So it might be a bit of a revision for some people, but other people I know it's going to be new. So we're just going to go through it sort of step by step, talk about what they are and why they are so useful. So what it basically is part of the takeout double family, but instead of being something that the overcaller does, so say the opponents open one of a suit and you double, which is our takeout double, is actually something the responder does. So it's when your partner has opened, there's been an overcall by the responder, and now an overcall by the overcaller, let me get that right, and now the responder's in a position where he or she wants to say something about his or her hand, and they can use the double to do that. So in the old days, I might just bring up the whiteboard for a second. Oh, that was Chris's fault. That smiley face. Okay. In the old days, if your partner opened something like a, one level bid of one club or one diamond, this is a little bit slow. Don't know why. And there'd been an overcall of a major. Very slow. Sorry. Don't know what is going on here. maybe my pen stuck. If there'd been, let's not use the whiteboard, but if there'd been an overcall of a major, what would you have played the double to mean in the old days? So what's its sort of natural use, I guess, is the question. So your partner opens something and there's been an overcall by the opponents. Traditionally, what did that double mean in the old days? And some people still teach this. So in the old days, it meant penalty. And a lot of people, like I just said, still actually teach this because it feels like the natural thing to do. So a lot of bridge teachers will say that if your partner's opened the bidding and there's been an overcall, a double by you is for penalties. So that's traditionally what the double card is used for. But the problem with it, well, not so much the problem, but more that it's an inefficient bid, because how easy is it normally to make one level contracts? Like, how often is it that you're the responder, your partner's opened a suit, the opponents have overcalled, and you're sitting there with a hand that actually genuinely wants to penalize the opponent? So how often does that happen compared with actually wanting to tell your partner something about your hand? So the answer to that is, it's much more likely that you want to use the double to tell your partner something about their hand rather than to use that double card to try and crush the opponents. So occasionally you will want to, but the chances of getting the opponents down on a one level contract, you have to have something amazing in your hand. So I think, and Patricia's just said, has this double have to be alerted? And I think the answer to that is no. But if I am wrong, blame it on me. But I'm pretty sure the answer is no. It doesn't have to be alerted. I tend to alert stuff more often than I need to, a bit like when I'm driving and I indicate when I might necessarily not have to, just to be sure. Like, why not do it? It's not going to cost anybody. And if someone says you shouldn't need to alert that, just go, okay, fine. So this double here is much more useful to tell your partner something about your hand rather than to use it as a penalty double. So this is your classic case here. So your partner's opened a club and the opponents have overcalled a heart. So the really good news about your partner overcalling a heart is that spades are higher ranking than hearts. And just so we can visualize this, if the opponents have overcalled a heart, which we've got here, that next bid up is a spade by you. But suddenly, because they've done this, there's this free bid that comes in between. This double actually slots in completely free without taking up any space between this one heart bid and this one spade bid, which is a really, really useful thing. So say your partner had just opened a club. If you've got 6 points and 4 spades, what are you bidding here? So your partner opens a club, there's been no overcall by the opponents, and you're sitting there with 6 points and 4 spades, maybe the 2, 3, 4, and 5 of spades. What are you bidding? Great. Everyone's saying 1 spade. You must bid 1 spade if you've got 4 of them. You would never bid a dustbin, no matter how useless your 4 spades are. You have to show your major. So you bid 1 spade. Your partner doesn't actually know, though, if you've got 4 spades, 5 spades, 6 spades even. They don't actually know. All they know at that point is that you have got 6 points or more and that you have got 4 or more spades. But here, suddenly, when the opponents have come in and bid a heart, that double card is like a free piece. Here it is, that way around. A free piece of information that you can give your partner. So if you're playing negative doubles, that double card now says to your partner, I have precisely 4 spades. And then if you come in and bid a spade here, then your partner now knows that you have got 5 or more of them. And you can see how incredibly useful that is. If your partner knows that you've got 5 spades, they know that they've got this magic fit in spades with only 3 of them. Whereas if you double, they know that you have precisely 4 spades. So in a way, when they come in with this heart bid, it's quite useful for you because you can describe your spade suit better. It's a little bit different if the opponents have overcalled a spade. So because the spade is higher ranking than that heart suit, you can no longer come in and bid 1 heart, obviously. So the situation changes a wee bit. So when it goes 1 diamond or 1 club by your partner and the opponents overcall 1 spade, there can be a lot more hands contained within that double. So in a way, I think of it as basically any hand that's got hearts in it is contained within that double that is not able to bid 2 hearts. So lots of hands are not able to bid 2 hearts. Any hand that's got fewer than 10 points is not able to bid 2 hearts. Also, any hand with 10 points or more that has only got 4 hearts in it is also not able to bid 2 hearts. So if you double here, it's a little bit harder to know exactly what your partner's got. It could be that they've got 6 points and 4 hearts. It could be they've got 7 points and 6 hearts. Or it could be that they have got 14 points and 4 hearts. So all those sorts of hands would not have been able to bid 2 hearts, but they can tell their partner that they've got something in hearts by starting with this negative double. So all these hands here, can everybody see these examples here? I hope you all can. All these hands here would have started with a double to show hearts. So this first one doubles to show hearts. They've only got 6 points, but they want to tell their partner they've got 4 hearts. You always want to tell your partner about the majors, and negative doubles are so focused on majors. It's just so important to get across your majors. The second one, you've got 5 cards. You've only got 6 points. So you also double to say, look, I've got some hearts, partner. And then this last one here, you've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points, but you're not able to bid 2 hearts. How come? Fundamental bridge point that I often find some of my players get wrong. Why not? Because, yes, brilliant, everybody. Yeah, you must have 5 of a major to bid that suit at the 2 level. So here, for whatever reason, they've doubled because they're not able to bid 2 hearts. And it could be for quite a few reasons. So the person who's the opener just has to bear in mind that all they know is their partner has got 4 plus hearts and 6 plus points. So when the opponents overcall a minor, it's a little bit different. So say you have opened a club and the opponents overcall 1 diamond. That double now is used to show precisely 4-4 in the majors, which can be really useful. So the opener would think, okay, that's great. I know my partner has both majors, has got 4-4 in the majors. If you had 5-4 in the majors, you wouldn't make that double because you would prefer to show that you had a 5-card major. So it's saying to your partner, I have exactly 4-4 in the majors and 6 or more points with that situation. So this is the one I find confuses people a wee bit. If it goes 1 club and the opponents overcall 1 diamond, if you do come in and bid 1 heart, that does not promise 5. All that is saying is I don't have 4-4 in the majors. So you might have 4 hearts, you might have 5 hearts, you might have 5 hearts and 4 spades, but what you don't have is 4-4 in the majors. I think we've got a question coming in here, which usually these questions are useful for everybody. So let's just see. Give Jeanette a second to write in. Sorry, I put pressure on you, Jeanette. You're probably typing flat out now. Sorry. Oh, okay, gone for the minute. So we'll come back to the question. If it is useful for this one, we can swing back to the slide as well and have a look at it. So what if, let me just check, I haven't jumped forward 2 slides there. No, that's great. Okay, so what if the, no problems, Jeanette. So what if the opponents overcall at the 2 level? So technically that's still a negative double situation. And these negative doubles are all about sort of trying to find your majors. So there's a big focus. If the opponents have overcalled, there's a big focus on trying to sort of find the majors. But in this situation here, sometimes you get kind of a little bit stuck for a bid. So say I were south and there's been a 2 diamond overcall by the person on my left and my partner doubles. Now I'm south and I've opened a spade. I would be thinking that my partner has almost certainly got 4 hearts. They've probably got 4 hearts here. It's sort of strongly suggesting 4 hearts. But when there's been an overcall at the 2 level, sometimes you get really stuck for a bid. So I'm just going to go back to this question here. to when you bid with 5 of the suit rather than double, is there a point count limit? So going back to this hand, so if you bid here with the north hand, you are just telling your partner that you have got hearts. So for me, that's 6+ here. I'm just coming in and saying, yep, I have got 4 hearts to my partner. In this situation here, this is the one that can be a little bit harder sometimes. This you've doubled here. So normally the double here is saying to your partner, I have got 4 hearts. So there's no upper limit, says Chris. No, it's so if you do make this bid, go back one more time, 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, it could be much, much higher than 6 points. It's just 6 points or more. It's almost as if the opponents hadn't overcalled at all and you just came in and bid 1 heart here. This hand here, this is a sort of tricky hand. Can you see the second hand down when the opponents have overcalled 2 diamonds? So with this sort of hand, these are horrible. So sometimes what happens is your partner will open a spade. The opponents come in and bid 2 diamonds. And what are you going to do? Because you're thinking, look, if my partner's opened, I know my partner has got at least 12 points to make this opening bid. They've got 11 points, the north hand, so they know this is their hand. So they don't want to be quiet. They don't want their partners to think they've got nothing. They do want to come in and say something here. And by the way, with that top hand, if you do come in and double, which strongly suggests the hearts, you've kind of got like a really good 8 or 9+ points. I'm always thinking half the pack in these situations. You want to tell your partner that you've got half the pack of points, that it's your hand. So this bottom hand does want to tell their partner that they've got half the pack. They know this is their hand, but they've got a real problem because the double here does suggest hearts. So your partner, you just need to be a tiny bit aware sometimes that your partner may get a bit stuck for a bid. So just as a matter of interest, why can't this person bid 2 no trumps here? I mean, the 10 of diamonds, not a great stop. Not a great stop bidding with the 10, but sometimes you have to bid 10. You have to bid no trumps with 4 to the 10. But you can't bid 2 no trumps if you play that 2 no trumps here since you've got a good 4 card raise in your partner. So the 10 technically, the 10 with 3 small cards technically does count as a stopper, which feels a bit weird. But the reason is you're kind of thinking that maybe, well, what you're hoping for is that you're going to get a crash of honor cards between your left and your right opponent. So overall, the 10 usually counts as a stopper. So if you're sometimes thinking, can I bid no trumps with 4 to the 10? Yes, you can. You're hoping you're going to get some sort of crash somewhere and that your 10 will end up being a stop. Sometimes, of course, that won't work. But that is the basic philosophy. The 10 to 4 does count as a stopper. But you can't bid 2 no trumps here. Yeah, that was a surprise to me, Patricia, the first time I kind of realized that and learned that as well, because it sort of makes sense in reality. But I guess what's going to happen this week is you're going to try it and they're going to go ace, king, queen, jack against you and no trumps. You go, oh my gosh, Bridget, honestly, why did I listen to that woman? But yes, technically 10 with 3 small cards does count as a stopper against no trumps. But this situation, if you do bid 2 no trumps, it's not a Jacoby bid anymore, because Jacoby is when the opponents haven't interfered. And that's when all that Jacoby toolkit comes in where you start describing your hand. But it is what the Americans call Jordan. Sometimes I call it Jacoby light. And that's saying I have got 4 card support and only 10+ points. So it's not forcing to game, but it does say I've got a good 4 card raise in your suit partner. So you can't bid that regardless, even if you did have a better stop in diamonds, even you couldn't bid the 2 no trumps here. So you can see this person in the second hand is really stuck for a bid. They're thinking, okay, they've come in with 2 diamonds. This is our hand. I don't want my partner to just kind of give up with sort of hardly anything in her hand, because this is our hand. I need my partner to know this. So this hand might double as well. Okay, what about if your partner opens a heart and the opponents overcall a spade? A double now is basically the 2 other suits. It's saying I've got 4, 4 in the minors. So minors, nowhere near as important as majors. Negative doubles are so focused on the majors. But in this situation, your partner's bid 1 major. The opponents have bid another major. So double just says I've got 4, 4 in the minors. I've got both minors, partner. Okay, take your time. Let's just do these quizzes I want everyone to remember that voids are worth something. Not there's a void example here. Just in terms of your fits, voids are worth something. Singletons are worth about 3 points and doubletons are worth about 1 point. So this first example here, South has opened a diamond. That's going to be you. So you've opened a diamond. The opponents have overcalled a heart. Your partner has doubled, showing precisely what if they double here. So this first example, it's gone diamonds, a heart, a double by North. So that's that situation where you've got the heart bid, and now you've got that free space in between to say to your partner, I've got precisely 4 spades and 6+ points. And then the responder to the overcaller has supported their partner. So when they've just come in and bid 2 hearts like that, that's just saying I'm bidding for as many tricks as we've got trumps. I'm bidding to the level of fit. So what would you bid now with the South hand? So count your shortages. Think about whether you've got a fit. Think about what level you want to go to when you're an opener. So when you're supporting your responder's suits, the level you're always thinking about is if you just go to the 2 level, that's saying I've got around 12, 13, 14, 15 points in a fit. That's your kind of normal opening hand with a fit. If you jump sort of 16, 17, or even 18, that's saying that I am invitational. I've got something better than a normal opening hand and we've got a fit. And if you go straight to game, that's saying I know that we should be in game here. We have 2 hands between us that are the equivalent of 25 points. So firstly, what's this South hand worth? You know you've got a fit. What is the South hand worth? So you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 3 points for the singleton. So this person's opened this 11 count basically on the rule of 20. They've looked at their hand and thought, I love my hand. The length of my 2 longest suits plus my high card points meets this rule of 20. I'm going to open the hand. So with this fit, they know that their hand is worth kind of like about a 14 count. So that to me is a simple 2 spade bid. It's yes, we've got a fit partner, we've got a fit in spades. And given that you may only have 6 points, I'm happy to play at the 2 level. So it doesn't mean that your partner is not going to come in and raise you, because your partner may have 6 points, but they might actually have 13 points. So you don't know, but all you're doing is saying, given that information that you have given to me, I'm happy to play in 2 spades. Okay, what about the next one? So count the points and think about what you know. First thing you need to think about is exactly what is the minimum number of spades North has shown you by making this 1 spade bid. So your partner will no longer have 4 spades. Great, Verona, Chris, Rosemary, everybody. That's excellent. Caroline. So your partner no longer has 4 spades. You can see how useful this is. So suddenly your hand is worth what? You know you've got this 8 card fit. And as soon as you've got this 8 card fit, you can start giving yourself shortage points. So it looks like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus 3 for the singleton. So that now goes into the big hand category. You're no longer in the normal opening hand category, which is 12, 13, 14, or 15. You are now in the big hand category, but not so big that you can just slap down game. But you are in the big hand category. So you want to bid 3 spades to say to your partner, I'm really interested in game if you're not a minimum. If you are a minimum, if you have made this bid with sort of 6 points, it doesn't matter because I've got enough points that we're going to be fine at the 3 level. But if you've made it with more than that, I need you to know that I've got 16, 17, or a bad 18 count so that you then can take this hand to 4 spades. Okay. Yep. Counting, I find, is really interesting with the counting thing. I have some such really clever students, including you people here as well. And sometimes I'm sitting there and people will count and they'll say, I've got 11 points. And you have to say, could you count again, Martin? And they'll say, no, it's definitely, or maybe it's 13. I'll say, Have one more count, Martin. And they'll go, okay, 12, 12. And this will be like some sort of world-class international lawyer. And you think, I know you're a right person, but today you're having problems counting on your fingers. So don't worry if that's you. There's definitely days like that where you do struggle with the basic counting, but don't forget fingers and toes can be useful. So do you only add 3 for a singleton once you know you have a fit? Yes, I add 3 for a singleton and 4 or 5 for a doubleton. So this next one here, so it's gone a club by south, a spade overcall, and north has doubled. So what do we know about the length of hearts, first of all? Oh no, Chris, awful. 20 points missed, 2 no trumps. I know, it makes you feel ill. So 4 or 5 for a void. I do mean that. Sorry if I said that wrong, Linda. Sorry, Jeanette. We'll see you next time. Have a good look on replay. So we've got one club by south, a spade overcall, and north has doubled. So how many points potentially has north got with this double? How many hearts and how many points? So you know they've got 6 plus points and 4 plus hearts. So this time you've got a bit of a problem here in a way, because sometimes you really want to tell your partner that you've got a fit. So sometimes if you bid 3 hearts with this hand, you might have been forced to do it. So it no longer promises 16 points anymore. Sometimes you just want to tell your partner that you have got this fit in hearts. So it's not the same as jumping to 3 hearts. If I were looking at the south hand here, you do have 14 points. You've got points for a singleton, but on the other hand, you've also got that ace in that singleton. So it's kind of counting it twice a wee bit. The other thing I don't like about the south hand is you've got 3 of your points in the spade suit. So those spades are worth nothing to you. It's almost like you've got an 11 count with a doubleton. It's very unlikely that either your queen or jack of spades is going to make a trick here. But I still would bid 3 hearts because I really just want to tell my partner I've got a fit with them. So by bidding to the level of fit business that East has done, by bidding for as many tricks as you've got trumps, is a really good strategy by the overcaller and the responder of the overcaller, because they've taken away your space and it's harder for you to describe your hand. Would I pass if I was vulnerable? No, I think I would just want to get across that I had hearts. I think I would find it difficult to pass. So that's the answers we came up with for those 3. And I think now we're going to go into Bridge Base and just talk about some hands. So let me just share the screen. Can everybody see this hand here? First one. We've got a Bridge Base hand. Brilliant. Okay, this one here is a kind of a bit of a trick question to start with. So your south, what are you opening with a south hand? So Rosemary actually just asked a great question. So I'm just going to quickly come back to that. If your partner makes a negative double, they're basically forcing you to bid. So when you bid that suit, it's not ever a reverse. So it's very different from a reverse situation of going past your barrier. Let me just take you back again, sorry, so you can see and everyone can visualize it. So if your partner has forced you to bid, it's no longer a reverse or forcing you past your barrier. It's more that you're just supporting your partner. So it's like, say you had opened 1 club and your partner had bid 1 heart in response to you. If you just bid 2 hearts now, that's never a reverse. That's just simply saying to your partner how much you love their hearts. So this is the same situation here with these negative doubles. It's like they have literally bid that suit. So it's not going past your own barrier when you bid that suit in showing your support to your partner. Okay, I'll take you across to Bridge Base again. So the negative double is only forcing if the opponents haven't come in and supported their partner's suit. You don't have to say something if the opponents have come in and supported their partner's suit. You should say something if they haven't. The only time you wouldn't say something is if you were thinking, I don't fancy the opponent's chances of actually making this if you actually had a whole bunch of cards in the opponent's suit, and then you might occasionally pass it. Okay, this one here. Everyone really happy with a club opening here. You've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. You are going to open one club. Nothing needs to be alerted if you're playing Echo. If you're playing 5-card majors or standard American Turbo 1, you would have to alert it if you played that the club was 2 or 3. If a club were only 2, you'd have to alert it. So you opened a club, and the opponents have come in and overcalled a spade. What are you going to do with the north hand? So in the olden days, this card would come out like a flash. You'd think, okay, these guys are not going to make one spade. They're vulnerable, which is really nice, and you would penalize them. But what can you do now? Because now, if you double, that's showing that you've got 4 hearts. What does everyone think? What should you do? This is one of my favorite situations. Great. So we've got Judith thinking pass, Chris thinking pass, Caroline thinking pass. Yep. And when you pass, what are you really hoping that your partner is going to do? What would be your ideal contract that you're going to end up in, or one of your ideal contracts? Yes, you're hoping that in some way you're going to be able to penalize the opponents. So you're going to pass here. And east, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they're probably going to bid 2 spades here. They're going to bid for as many tricks as they've got trumps. They're going to come in and bid 2 spades. So what should south do in this situation? They're not vulnerable. They're thinking they've got a shortage in spades. So if the opponents have overcalled a suit and you have got a shortage in that suit as the opener, that's a bit of a flag. That's would always have me thinking, has my partner passed here because my partner is very, very weak and has got nothing to say? Or has my partner actually passed because they've got a whole bunch of spades? So you always have to think this. So when you've got a 5-4 shape, and I know we've talked about this before, but it's just such a great situation. When you've got a 5-4 shape, you should always start by reopening with a double. If the opponents have come in with the east hand, you don't have to anymore if your hand was a little bit more boring. But this hand here, I would be thinking, look, if west is overcalled with 5, east is raised to the level of fit to 3, I've got a huge big void here. So it could well be that my partner has passed here completely on the basis that they're wanting me to reopen with a double, and then they can then pass it and convert that double into penalties. Could also be that they've got nothing, but in that case, you're going to end up playing at the 3 level in some sort of fit with your hand. So once partner has passed, if you double it, is it always for penalties? No, it's not for penalties at all. It's more that your partner has an option to convert it to penalties. So if you double here, it's technically a takeout double. It's saying I have got a shortage in that suit, but you're kind of hoping that your partner's got length in it. And so if they have got length in it, they now have an option to pass that and convert that takeout double to a penalty double. That's how you catch them. Like in the old days, you could just double directly. But now, because we want to use that double directly to say to your partner, I've got 4 hearts here, you can no longer do that. So the way to do it is to pass, wait for your partner to make a takeout double, like reopen with a double, and then this person's going to pass. And north goes, okay, I know my partner's got a shortage in spades. I know that they've got clubs, probably got something in hearts, they've probably got something in diamonds. But the best place for our partnership to be is in 2 spades doubled. So you're going to pass, and they just can't do anything. They can't get out of this contract. Okay, why don't we play it out here? Let's have a think about it. Ops are going down big time. Okay, let's see how much we can get them down. So often, if the opponents play in a a suit non-game suit doubled, often it's right to lead a trump. But here, you sort of think you're going to be making these anyway. I think I probably would lead this diamond. Okay, let's go for it. Let's actually, we can pop on the double W so everyone can see. Okay, this looks like it's going to be very nice for us. So they're going to, would they try the queen? They're probably not going to try playing the queen here, because they will be thinking that actually maybe the best thing that could happen is if the queen gets established. So they might just play low. You'd play a like it if you play low like. Oh no, why is it okay? So we need to have a switch to diamonds here. I suppose it's because you're going to establish it and you would be thinking, yep, I'm going to establish that queen. Okay, so you're going to try that one. Again, they're probably not going to cover it, so you're going to signal low. Grab this one. And now your partner is going to throw something away. So now you're in a position where you can play this one. Your partner's got rid of a diamond. Okay, what are they going to do? Yes, you could have led your partner's suit as well, Trisha, absolutely. And probably should have actually. Good point. So here, if they come in, you're going to overruff. And that's going to come out. I mean, it's just horrible for them, isn't it? Yeah. And whatever they do, they're completely in a sort of terrible pickle now. I mean, maybe you even draw the trumps or you play the heart. And they're sort of having to play away from their hand. And you're going to end up with the most enormous score here. Much, much better than playing in a part score. And then you can claim the rest of the tricks and you end up making 1,100, which is basically a slam score. So much better than trying to get some sort of part score for your side. Getting them down is wonderful. And that's how you do it. So you're waiting for your partner to sort of reopen with a double. So if you do end up with that hand, that's when you pass. Okay, let's try another one. We might be getting some negative double examples now. Okay, so this first one. So would you open this hand, first of all? In the south seat. Me too. Yeah, I like it. I've got a singleton. King, Queen, and Jack of Spades are really nice. Sort of most of my high card points are all contained within my long suits. So opening one diamond. And a heart overcall. Saying I've got 5 or more hearts and sort of 7 or more points. What does North do here? So this is the situation where you double to say that you have got precisely 4 spades. Would you raise with the east hand? So the east hand is now in the toolkit for the overcallers. So if they've got a good raise in their partners, the 3, they can put the unassuming cubid. Or if they've got support for their partner's suit, they can bid for as many tricks as they have got trumps. And I really do like to tell my partner when I have got 3 trumps with them, especially if it's a major. So here, if I'm east, I would bid 2 hearts. I'd bid to the level of fit. What about south now? You might recognize this point count from one of our examples. So you know your partner's got 4 spades. You know you've got a fit. So 2 spades, great. So you say, yes, we've got a fit in spades. And I've got either 12, 13, 14, or 15 points. So normally West is not going to bid again here. So it's bad practice, really, with this sort of hand to bid 3 hearts. Occasionally it can work, but you shouldn't really make another bid in this situation. Your partner's just saying they're bidding to the level of fit. So they would pass. And then now what do you think North should do? So they know their partner's got an opening hand. They know their partner's got support for the spades. I like 3 spades as well. Yeah, they haven't quite got enough to go to 4 spades. So 3 spades. And then once they heard that, what would you do with the south hand? I think I would go up, actually. I think the singleton really just gives me something. I like that singleton. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They're basically inviting. I would go up to 4 spades. Okay, let's pop down this one and let's just have a think about whether or not you would make it. So what would you be thinking if you were playing in south and this dummy came down? You love your spades. How do you feel about where the king of hearts is? Like, so west is the person who's overcalled the hearts. So it looks like that king of hearts is in quite a good place. You know, west is overcalled. You've got the jack and the king. So I would be thinking it seems very, very likely that west here has got the ace. So you're going to be able to play up towards that king of hearts. Yep. A good side suit and diamonds. Diamonds are good. Okay, what don't you necessarily like about this hand here? There's a few things that would be worrying me about this hand. Any thoughts, anyone? Yeah, you're a little bit worried about the hearts. Yep. I'm also worried that that in my sort of club short suit, so if I'm forced to rough in the south hand, I'm having to rough with those really big, yeah, Chris, great. They're going to force some clubs. So what the opponents could well try and do is try and make you rough in the south hand. And the south hand is the one that's got all those really big spades in, and you need those big spades for drawing out the trumps. So I would be worried that they're going to try and attack those, and Linda's picking up on this really quickly. Well done. And Chris, too. What they're going to do is they're going to then try and attack your spades and leave you in a position where you may not be able to rough any more clubs. And then you may not be able to draw the trumps as well. So I'd be feeling a little bit worried about that. And I'd also be worried that maybe the diamond suit, the queen of diamonds, might be on the wrong side as well. And you know from the point count that east has just bid to the level of fit. You know that south has overcalled. So it could easily be that the queen of diamonds is on the wrong side. So you're going to start by playing here. Which card, by the way, should you play with the east hand here? I'm going to take it off there. So in this situation, when you've got the queen, the jack, and the 10, it can be really useful for your partner to know that you have got that touching line of honor cards in that suit. So all good players here will play the queen. So it's not a high-low like situation anymore. It's more just saying to your partner, I have got the next honor below that, which can be really useful. They're unlikely to think that you've got a singleton club. How come? If you play the queen, why will they think that it's exceedingly unlikely that you've got a singleton club here? Don't forget about the original bidding. So South opened a diamond and then supported her partner's spades. So if that were a singleton club, that would mean that South had longer diamonds and 5 clubs and also 4 spades, which is suddenly looking like 14 cards in their hand. So this queen here is just saying to their partner, hey, guess what? I just really want you to know, just so you know, useful information, I've also got the jack of clubs. And then they're going to carry on here. And now you can rough in. So now I would be thinking, how am I going to approach this hand? I'm worried about this club situation. I don't necessarily want to sort of draw the trumps, because if I draw all the trumps out and then take the diamond finesse, what suit are the opponents going to play? So say I pulled out the trumps, went across the diamonds, took the diamond finesse, and West had the queen of diamonds. What will they do straight away? They're going to attack your club holding. Exactly. So over here, maybe I would play up towards this king first. They could well jump up here and attack the clubs again. And now you have to rough with this card. So you can cross over. You know you're safe in the heart suit. And I would probably take the diamond finesse now. Hang on a minute. Let me undo. That's not what I would do. because I want to keep that Jack of Hearts, that King of Hearts for later. Sorry, so I've come back to this position here. Bear with me for 2 seconds while all those undo acceptors go up. So I'm actually going to cross over now, keeping the King of Hearts as an entry. Maybe I've got myself in a pickle. Maybe that is actually a wee bit dangerous, because then if the Queen of Diamonds is off, I think I probably did it the right way last time. Sorry. But anyway, I've made my bed now, so I have to come across. And thankfully, they don't have the Queen. So now we can pull out the Trump. Pull out another one. Now cross. Grab the last one. Cross over. And we're good, home and dry. Right, okay, next one. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so you asked south. 3 spades would be a safer contract. Yeah, for sure. I think I was a tiny bit risky with the diamond holding there, because if the Queen of Diamonds had gone wrong, they're going to force me with the clubs. If they had enough, it's unlikely to go wrong, but if they did have, they could maybe give their partner a ruff as well. So I think possibly what I should have done is should have crossed with a Ace of Hearts first, I think. So this one here with the south holding, what are you going to open here? Very, very straightforward opening with this one. Club. So opening hand. If you're playing Echo, it's 4 or more clubs. If you're playing 5-card majors or standard American, 5-card majors turbo 1 or standard American, depends on what system you're playing. And they are going to overcall 1 heart. Okay, so now what are you going to bid? Yeah, so you're playing negative doubles with your partner. You've agreed to play negative doubles. So 1 club, 1 heart, and North now can safely bid 1 spade to say, I do not have 4 of these spades. I've got 5 or more of these spades. East can't really say anything. They're sitting there with all these diamonds, but they can't really say anything. Don't have enough points. So what are you thinking with the south hand? Again, this might look slightly familiar, this one. Got 13 plus 3 for the singleton. Your partner's saying, I definitely have got 5 spades, so you know you've got a fit. So this is the one where you jump to 3 spades. You haven't got enough for game, but you have got enough to say to your partner, I'm really interested in game. I've got a hand with 16, 17, or 18 points. Got a good hand. We've got spade support. And then from the North hand's perspective, what would you do? You're a little bit flat, but 4 spades. So this time, what are they going to lead? They're actually probably just going to lead their partner's suit here, I think. So they would start with the 6. Okay, so try and analyze the hand without trying to focus too much on the opponent's hand. What would you think if you saw the 6, first of all? If you were North, the 6 came down, what would you be slightly worried about? You know you're in 4 spades. You're going to always lose 1 spade, 1 heart. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to be 3. Very unlikely to be 3 unless the opponents are the sort of people who overcall with the 4-card suits, which you shouldn't do. So it's basically either a singleton or a doubleton. The 6 is a little bit of a hard card to read because the 5 is the only card lower, but you don't know who's got the 5. So I would definitely be a little bit worried that this were a singleton here. So it looks like they didn't support their partner's hearts exactly, and it's a low card. So I would be a wee bit nervous about this, but there's nothing you can do. If they take the ace here and shoot back another one and it is a singleton, there's nothing you can do. So you play low. They're going to try the ace. And then they are going to try and get a ruff. And there we go. Now you see the 5 and you know you're right. I think the first thing I would do here is I'd be thinking I've got 8. I have got 8 spades between the 2 hands. I'd probably like to play 2 rounds of spades. I've got this lovely club suit. So what I'm hoping is that these clubs are going to break in a sort of friendly way, and I'm going to be able to throw away losers on the length of this club suit. So I'd go and draw 2 rounds of trumps. There goes the jack. So now you're in this position where there's 1 trump out there that's higher than your trump, so you're going to leave it out. There's a waste of your trump holding to try and draw 2 trumps to get one of theirs out. And I would start by playing 2 rounds of clubs. And now when you play the 3rd round, you know that even if they over rough here, those clubs are good. They're going to throw one away. And then, I mean, they could well, so you've roughed in. So now you can cross back. You've left the Queen of Hearts there as an entry. And if they rough in here, it doesn't matter when they take their queen. If they rough, you just throw away a loser. Anything they return, you're fine. And now you're in a safe position in your home. You can claim. Right, let's try another example. Let's have a look what we've got this one. Okay, so this time we've got East opening. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, a really nice hand, semi-balanced, 2 doubletons. So opening a diamond. And a spade overcall. What are you doing with the West hand? Four, 5, 6, 7 points. What you really want to tell your partner about. So these negative doubles are all about trying to tell your partner that you've got something in the majors. So I would prefer to show my partner I had 4 hearts. If you do bid 1 no trump here, by the way, it's showing some sort of value. So if you bid a no trump here, you're promising your partner that you have got a stop in the spades, and you'd also be promising your partner you had something decent, so more like an 8 or 9 count. It's different from a dustbin. It's more of a sort of positive, I'm happy to play in 1 no trump opposite your potential 12 count. It's more like you've got half the pack between you, which you normally need to make 1 no trump and a stop on the spades. But here, because you've got these hearts, you don't have enough points to bid 1 no trump, and also you've got 4 hearts, which you really want to show your partner. So you're going to start by doubling, to say to your partner, I have got 4 hearts. Okay, North, 4 points this time. 2 of their points are in the heart suit. They're not vulnerable though. Yeah, I think I probably would bid 2 spades as well. Be a bit more nervous about it if I were vulnerable. But it just makes the opponent's life a little bit harder. Bid for as many tricks as you've got trumps. Okay, now East hand. What would you be doing if this happened to you? If your partner said, I've got 4 hearts here. Yes, I think I would be thinking this looks like game to me. So even if my partner's got a 6 count, this hand is a lovely hand. So you're going to jump to 4 hearts. And we won't play these ones out because I've got a few more examples I want to show you, but let's just talk about the opening lead and look at just about how it would go. Have a quick chat about it. So against 4 hearts, what do you think you would lead from the south hand? Pretty much, yeah, ace of spades for me. And if I was sitting here with this south holding, I would be thinking, okay, so East has jumped to 4 hearts. I'm placing them with sort of an 18, 19 count. I can see 7 points in the dummy. Then I'd be thinking, my partner supported me with not very many points here, which is kind of interesting. But you think, well, good on them. Yep, they're trying to take away the space. But I would be thinking there's not a lot of chance that we're making very many tricks here. When I've played the ace, my partner's going to signal they don't like the spades. And I probably, in defense, would probably actually just take my tricks because I'd be a little bit scared about them running away. Be thinking maybe if I didn't take the ace and king of spades and the ace of diamonds, I'd be scared that I might not get those tricks later. You can see that this is going to work out nicely for the declarer because the queen and jack of hearts are actually falling in the north hand. So they're going to make all 4 hearts. And then once they've knocked out the ace of diamonds, they've got lots of tricks here. So they're just going to lose the 2 spades. And if I take my ace of diamonds, that one as well, the 3 tricks that I'm going to just take off the top. Okay, let's try and bid another one. Okay, we've got West being the opening bidder this time. So they're going to open a club. And North is going to overcall 1 diamond. Okay, so what is East's bid here? So it's a minor opening by their partner, and there's been a minor overcall by the opponents. There's a lovely bid they can make that describes their hand perfectly. They can double, excellent, to say that they have got precisely 4-4 in the majors. So they're doubling to say they have got both majors. And then they're going to come in and bid 2 diamonds. What would you bid with the West hand? Two hearts. So again, North shouldn't really bid again with this hand. So they will pass. And then 4-5, they're going to pass in 2 hearts. So they're playing in 2 hearts. What would you lead with the North hand here? I've got a couple of things I could think about. I mean, part of me might even just put down the ace of diamonds after my partner has bid them, even though I hate just leading unsupported aces like that. The other thing I might do is think, if I don't lead the king of spades now and get rid of that ace, we might never make that king of spades. So I actually think I would probably err more towards leading the king of spades. If we lead this one, that opens up that spade. So you can see what happens. It opens it up. And when the opponents get in, they're probably going to take this finesse early on. It's normally right to do these things early. When they come in, you can actually just grab that queen. And if you hadn't done it, you would have lost your momentum, basically, to get your spade holding. But they're going to be absolutely fine making their 2 hearts. Okay, let's try another one. Plowing through quickly to get you some examples. So we've got South here opening 1 club, and there's been a spade overcall. $14 points. Bid by North. Double. Say I have got hearts. You don't know how many hearts I've got. All you know at this stage is I was unable to bid 2 hearts for whatever reason. It's going to be a 2 spade bid here. And this person is basically just going to be forced to compete. This is where they're going to come in and bid 3 hearts. So that's not now saying a 16 count. That's more just saying, look, I'm happy to compete. That 2 spade bid is so powerful because it's just knocked out space from your side. Let's just try another one. Hope everyone's keeping up. We're charging through them. Okay, lovely big hand here by East. So we've got a club opening. 4, 5. Okay, what are you bidding with the South hand? Diamond. From West. Double to say majors, both majors. So North, now that there's been this double and they've asked what the double is and they've said, look, it's both majors. They're probably not going to come in and do anything here. And now what are you going to do from East perspective? So you're giving yourself shortage points here. So you had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and now you know that you've got a fit in hearts. So 18 plus 3 for the shortage. So this suddenly looks like a huge hand, and your partner has basically said, I've got 6 or more points here. So I would bid 4 hearts here. And opening lead, that might put the ace of, yeah, they could put the ace of spades down to just check out what's going on. Yeah, it could be a slam, but from West's point of view, it's not looking like a slam. From East's point of view, they'd be hoping their partner had some more. And in terms of losers, what are we? I mean, we're losing the spade and we're losing the ace of diamonds as well. Okay, so we've rushed through quickly, lots of examples. I hope that has helped clarify everything you want to know about negative doubles. Good idea to go over the replay. Everyone enjoy their bridge this week. Do send me questions if you've got them and send me hands. It's great. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I thought next week we'll go back and do a bit of declare a play philosophy again.
That was great. I always knew there was more to it. I just had in my head the 2 unbid suits. That's sort of basically all I...
Yeah. And it is kind of a double, but the doubles are for showing the unbid suits. But if there's been a major overcall, just think so much more important to show the major. So that's why at the one level, you're promising the other major, at least 4.
I really like, though, the fact that it distinguishes between the 4-card suit and the 5-card suit. That's really useful.
I know. It's lovely. It gives you more opportunities, doesn't it, to really get your hand across to your partner.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right. Another great lesson. What have we got in store for us next week?
Yeah, I think a bit of a declare a play stuff, perhaps. Go back to some fun declare a play thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
I had an amazing hand this week. I got 27 points. 27 points in my... I know. I think it's the most points I've ever had.
Wow.
But, yeah.
In real life or on bridge base?
It was on bridge base. Yeah.
Okay.
But unfortunately I couldn't, and it was I think it was one of the ACOL the ACOL daily hands.
Right.
And I couldn't find slam. I didn't know how to find slam with it. So I was like,
Oh,
of course. I know. I'll send it to you. So you can
I'd love to see it. Yeah, send it to me. I'd love to see it. I love
really
to see those big fun hands. They're really cool. All right, everybody, have a lovely week. Enjoy your bridge. See you soon.
Thank you so much again for joining us. We'll see you next week.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.